We are back. Yeah, the loading times on this aren't the best. But either way, welcome to Steven Universe Save the Light, a licensed game based on, well, Steven Universe. This is a sequel to an iOS Android game called Attack the Light, and Steven will summarize it once we get into the opening cutscene. Time to load up Save 3, a new game, and begin.
There was a powerful weapon. A prism that could create entire armies of light.
I move away from Kingdom Hearts and we're still talking about light nonstop.
But then, one day, the prism was lost. Never ever to be found again. Until it was. By 4 brave adventurers. That's us, Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl. And me, the Crystal Gems. But we accidentally unleashed the light inside. Whoa! So we traveled all over the world to retrieve each color. It was a really great adventure. Just when we thought our quest was over, the light turned into a really big, bad monster. Roar, let's fight! But I told it, we don't have to do this. You don't have to be a weapon. You can be anything you want to be. And then, would you believe it? It didn't want to fight anymore. Its shape started to change, and suddenly it became... me!
Yeah, Steven told it pretty well there. The light prism was an ancient gem weapon that was uncovered by the other gems. Steven activated it by accident, and, well, Garnet punched it, and it split a bunch of colors of light monster out all over the world. The group gathered together, went out to retrieve it all, and eventually it all merged into one big monster. But it turned out the weapon thought Steven was its new master and thought he was testing it. So he explained it to it that it didn't have to be a weapon, and it took on his form. This game does have voice acting from the cast of the show, including Estelle as Garnet. And Zach Callison is Steven, of course.
Wow.
Also, I love the Dragon Ball Z reference there. They did the fusion dance pose. Uh-oh. Alright, so getting into gameplay a little bit here. Attack the Light was, well, it was an iPhone game, so it didn't have a lot of, movement. But battle was basically done in a style of, like, I think the, time action meter from Final Fantasy VII combined with the timed hits of Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi, etc., etc. And Save the Light is similar, but it has a lot more exploration due to being on consoles. I really hope this game's eventual sequel, because it does have one in development, Unleash the Light. Currently it's slated for Apple Arcade, but I do hope it ends up getting a console release. Or at the very least that it's good, because I'm not averse to a good iPhone game. And Attack the Light is real good. It's also free, if I'm not mistaken. And if it's not free, then it's real cheap. So anyway, first off, can I say I love this game's sprite work? It's similar to the art style of the show, but it's also got its own little charm. Anyway, we move around with the left stick, of course. You can press the X button to jump. Steven can double jump, but only him. Now, if I could get the camera to zoom back in again, because it zoomed out like that on its own. No mail today. You can press square to have each character do a different action. In Steven's case, he does a little roll that can uncover stuff buried in sand, or get him through tight spaces. Yeah, it was in the sand, but he'll have it anyway. And that right there is a star fruit. That is extremely useful. You get little dialogue choices like this every now and then, and if you choose the right one, you can raise a character's experience and their relationship meter. I'll explain that later. This is Sadie, that's Lars. Though, if you've seen the show, you know that. They were in the first scene with Steven. But they don't really have anything interesting to say right now, so we're gonna just follow the prism.
Steven?
And this is Greg Universe.
Dad, what's going on?
Please tell me this is another new friend of yours?
Uh-oh.
Giant spaceship? If you're gonna land, maybe you could move a skosh away from the...
Sorry, Greg.
Ah!
Car wash! No!
And behold this game's original villain, Heptanite.
Oh, the Earth. Did you miss me?
I don't remember who her voice actress is,
Now
but she does a good job.
there's- Up there you are.
Beep!
I could feel it. Who activated you? They obviously don't know you're still mine. Get over here.
Hey, that's my line.
My stars, you look absurd. Let's get you out of that shape. Post haste.
Hey!
Yeah! He doesn't want to go with you!
No! Light Steven!
That strange sound. What's that down there? Humans? Really? You activated in the hands of humans?
Well, he activated in the form of a half-human, half-gem.
I leave you here for a few thousand years and you're ready to activate for whoever, whatever happens to grab you?
Oh
Well,
yeah,
I'll
I'm
let you
gonna
make it up.
say... Has everybody in the audience seen the show up to Change Your Mind at least?
What?
Like, you don't have to have seen the movie, just up to Change Your Mind.
What are these weak forms?
Because I
You
would like to
blow with me,
discuss
you're
potential
embarrassing yourself.
spoilers of Change Your Mind and such.
Wait! Light Steven!
Judging by the fact that a viewer just dropped, I'm going to guess they haven't yet.
Steven, watch out!
As for when this takes place, it takes place sometime after... Well, sometime mid-season 4. Before the events of Are You My Dad, but after... but it takes place after, I think, Your Mother and Mine? I forget which episode. Anyway, this is our battle system. You select a character, an ability, and a target. And it uses up a certain number of the star points meter down there at the bottom left of the screen. When you see a star appear under an enemy, press the X button to do a bonus attack. This game is on Xbox One, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. So, it's pretty easy to find, and it's not too expensive if I remember. Anyway, Steven starts off with 2 abilities. Shield Dash, which is the cheapest attack you can get. Not very powerful, but still useful at points. And Encourage, which is a healing ability. Steven is your support character and is the only one who can't be switched out of the party. Though, thankfully, the game does not end if he goes down. Now, whenever the star point gauge fills up, you get more star points. When an enemy attacks, you do the same sort of reaction command in order to block. Oh yeah, just gonna say this right now. I'm gonna keep Connie in the party for the entire game.
Oh,
She's just good. And when they take damage, this is teaching us about Steven's encouragement.
Much obliged.
Now, did you see? Now, that meter right there, that is the relationships meter. When you attack an enemy who's aggroed against a teammate, give that teammate kudos for pulling off a perfect hit, which we'll learn about later, or heal them, then that relationship meter improves. When they fill up to the max, characters can fuse or perform powerful team attacks. In Steven and Connie's case, they transform into Stevani for the duration of an entire battle, or if you choose to defuse them. Oh, that canceled that guy's attack. Now, one cool thing about Steven's shield dash, if anyone is in his way, boom, he knocks them aside. He can later upgrade that attack in order to make it stun any enemy he runs into. This game is all about positioning and getting good at the battle timing, as well as choosing strategically on who should attack when and what. Because these guys aren't the only enemy variety we'll be seeing. Basically, my party's going to be Steven, Connie, and whichever two other characters I think are the most useful at that point. Because this game has 7 playable characters. No wait, it's 6. Steven, Connie, Garnet, Amethyst, Pearl, Peridot, and, oh no wait, that is 7. Because the 7th playable character is actually freaking out in the background there. And he's actually our 3rd party member. Hey there, Greg. Yeah, you can play as Greg. He'll join up after the next battle. And he's actually very useful. But since he can't do fusions and he's kind of situational, I might switch him out after a little bit. Oh, this was long before Steg was a thing. If you attack an enemy in the field, you can deal some early damage to them. But that's really the only benefit to it. And yeah, once you press X, time freezes and enemies cannot attack. So I can use that to decide who should attack and when. When the star flashes purple like that, hit the button at the right time to perform a perfect attack. That will speed up the star meter, and it's the same thing with blocks. Perfects also gain extra abilities as you level up. And when you press triangle, you can open up the cheeseburger backpack. You can use items without any star points, so take advantage of that. However, the cheeseburger backpack does have a cooldown, so you can't spam them.
This'll do the trick.
Star fruits add star points immediately. So I can use that to have Connie take this guy out. And also, if any other enemy is in her sword's range, well, they take damage from the second swing. I'm gonna let it fill up again so Connie can attack twice. And this is kudos. When you pull off a perfect block or perfect hit, sometimes the game will ask you to choose a character to give the other one kudos, and that raises their relationship meter.
I believe in me!
If you raise the teamwork stat, then your characters will be able to do that more often, and the meter will fill up more.
Connie, you're amazing!
Now, in the original Attack the Light, Steven didn't have any attacks. He was purely a support party member and the guy who held the cheeseburger backpack. Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl did all the fighting, and you only had them. Like, Attack the Light didn't have Connie, it didn't have Greg, and it also had to recycle all of its voice clips for Garnet because they couldn't get Estelle for that.
Universe.
But they did get her for this game. I was debating on whether or not to have Steven heal himself right there. But I think I'll just settle for finishing this guy off. Thanks, Mayor Dewey. So we need to get the key to the city back. Yeah, I could see that being Mayor Dewey's official document. Hey there, Greg.
Oh,
Greg
yeah!
is also a support member. And I'll explain that once we get into another battle. Yeah, we need to find the crystal gems too. Oh yeah, they never display that ability again. And now we get into character switching. You can control who leads the party, and that decides on their, field ability you can do. Connie can break stuff with her sword, and Greg can play his guitar. And he can use that to solve puzzles, but I'll get into that later. Hi there, Nanafwa. What do you have to say? I love this old lady. Now I'm gonna lead with Connie because, if I'm not mistaken, she has a higher attack stat than Steven, so she does more damage with the preemptive strike. Now, as you can see, we start with 4 star points instead of 3 now, because we have 3 party members. That'll be raised to 5 once we get our 4th. You can only have 4 characters in the party at a time. Now, as for how Greg works, he needs to use 2 star points to start his tune, but then he can choose between any of... well, he only knows 1 right now, but he can learn up to 3 different jams that help support the party. He has Power Jam, which causes damage to everything around him. He has Heal Jam, which heals any teammates within its radius. And then he has Star Jam, which speeds up how fast the star meter fills. Also, it adds a guitar riff to the music when he uses it. Red light monsters target a character, take a little while to charge up, and then they fire. And yes, their distance from the character does determine how long you have to block it. Thing is, if Greg is attacked while he's jamming, then he stops, and he has to start again. This can be mitigated with an ability Steven will probably learn as soon as he levels up. I forget if it's in 1 or 2 levels. If you're wondering, I'm leaving the red one alone because Greg's next pulse will... okay, the pulse after that will finish him off. And Greg can generate a lot of aggro if he's,
Steven, you're amazing!
if he's jamming a lot, so you may want to be careful. You'll need to be careful with him. Now then, I'm going to have Steven heal himself.
You go, Steven!
That one's going to be finished off by Greg's next pulse, so let's do some damage to this one. Alright, Greg, just get off another pulse before they attack. Boom! And Steven gets a level up. Levels offer 3 upgrade points.
So upgraded.
They will occasionally earn you new abilities, like for this, Bubble. This is probably Steven's best support ability, especially if you plan to keep Greg in the party long term. Because if Greg is attacked while he's in a bubble, it doesn't interrupt his jam. Basically, it completely nullifies an enemy's attack to that character. Press the middle button to bring up the mid screen.
Upgrades, upgrades, I love upgrades.
This is the level up screen. Upgrades get more expensive as you go on, but as you reach higher levels, you do earn more upgrade points for each level. Now, raising each stat is of course important, but you can gain little upgrades for your abilities or the character in general by reaching these little purple spots. For example, when Steven runs through an enemy with a shield dash, they are now stunned. Or the bubble shield gains spikes, causing attackers to take damage when they break it. Or freebie bubble. If you perfect block, there's a chance Steven could use bubble without any star points. Or an ability to make Steven have a 50% chance of getting right back up if he's KO'd. Or allowing Steven to attack through spikes, saws, or anything else with his shield. I'm gonna put 1 point into Steven's attack and 2 into his defense, because purple bits usually take more than a normal upgrade does, and I'll have to wait for Steven to level up again before I can put anything into that. Also, the teamwork stat. This takes 2 no matter which, this always takes 2 to upgrade because it's probably one of the more powerful stats. In Steven's case, it makes him a better healer and improves his relationship building. Not just the improving relationship building the stat has with most characters. And you can, of course, open the cheeseburger backpack outside of battle.
This?
Steven's roll is the fastest way to get around, I think. Anyway, grab that star fruit. Oh yeah, the items you find out in the field here in Beach City do respawn when you turn the game back on or after a certain amount of time has passed. So you can use that to get a lot of items real quick without having to spend any light bits. Light bits are the currency of this game. Anyway, Ronaldo. Not my favorite townie of the bunch, but he has his moments. Also, am I the only one who thinks Horror Club is underrated? It was a Season 1 episode where, which first showed us Sadie's interest in horror movies, and also showed us that Ronaldo and Lars used to be friends. And yeah, Ronaldo thinks the light monsters are cosplayers. He sells, well, he always sells the redo charm. This allows you to respec a character no matter what. And right now he's selling the XP badge, gain experience 15% faster. I don't have enough to get that yet, but you want to get the XP badge first. It's too early to do anything with the redo charm.
Time for some tunes!
Battles in Save the Light can be a little slow-paced at times. But that's not always necessarily a bad thing. They're exciting in their own way. A bubbled character can still perform a block, and if you get a perfect block off, then they still raise the star meter's speed. So it's worth it to not completely ignore when a bubbled character is about to get attacked.
Steven, you're amazing! Ready for action!
You love bubbles.
Too slow, pal. Keep your bullets off my Connie! But that's what he would say. Anyway, yeah, we could fuse into Stevani right now, but... well, I don't think we really need to. Save that for a little later. Charge!
Hey!
I also wouldn't mind if it had Spinel in it.
So much for that!
Dad, you're doing it!
But yeah, the third game having like Stag, Obsidian, or just all the fusions. Or hey, how about the ability to play as Lapis?
I didn't expect this!
There was plans for Lapis and maybe someone else to become DLC characters. but they were never added in, and it's been years since this game came out, so I have a feeling it's never going to be released.
Oh, wow.
Shame too, because because voice clips for a playable Lapis do exist. So they clearly got some way into programming her. They just never finished it. Though I suppose it's not too bad that they took their time with fixing this game, because when it came out at first, it was kinda glitchy. It's mostly been fixed through patches, though there are some loading time issues occasionally, and sometimes I have had it freeze on me, but it's really infrequent, and I've actually only ever had it freeze once. Okay, purple guys. These ones have shields. If you get hit by an enemy out in the field, you don't take damage, but you start the battle with less star points than usual. Now, shielded guys. The way they're facing actually does matter when you attack them. For example, right now, Steven or Greg wouldn't really hurt these guys, but Connie can deal full damage, because she's behind them. Some characters can break through shields with certain abilities, but others don't. Connie's Protect ability right here. She enters a protective stance in front of somebody and takes damage for them, automatically counterattacking whenever they get attacked. So, for example, I'm going to have Greg start up Star Jam. I'm going to have Greg set up a jam and have Connie go protect him. I don't use Protect a lot, but it does help. However, this does mean that Connie can still do her own attacks while she's protecting somebody. And every block she makes raises her relationship with that person. After a while, Connie will stop protecting somebody and go back to her original spot. So it doesn't last forever. And you'll need to remember to keep Connie alive. She's the one taking damage for them. So if she goes down, the protection ends. Let's finish this guy off. Boom. Wham.
That was amazing!
Oh yeah, if the relationship meter is filled out, then you can't give a character kudos, but that makes sense.
That was amazing!
Steven, you're the best.
Can I talk about just how much I ship it? Steven and Connie, I mean.
Hey! Wow, you're doing great! Hey! Wow, you're doing great!
Hooray for Connie!
Hey! Wow, you're doing great! Ready to rock!
I might as well show what it is. Most of Greg's team-up attacks involve him playing something that gives that character a massive bonus to their stats. Useful, but kind of situational at times. Like, best stage for boss fights or big enemies. Whenever an enemy gets that red exclamation point above their heads, that means they're about to attack. So you can use that to choose who to pick, who to attack.
Let's go.
Hi there, Vidalia. What do you guys think she should paint? I'm waiting because I know there's a delay, but... Alright, I'll pick. Sorry. Anyway, moving on. We need to go give the key back to Mayor Dewey. Enemies do respawn, but it takes a little while, and, well, they don't respawn until you move on to another area. Like, if the screen blacks out, you transition to another area, then all the enemies behind you will respawn. Also, your team members' pathfinding isn't all that great, but they'll always eventually appear for you. Anyway, give him back the key to Beach City. And he gives you the Healthy Human badge. Every character can wear badges, and when you reach And when you reach a certain level, you'll be able to wear more badges. I think the maximum is 3, because the max level in this game is 30. Anyway, since Greg has the lowest health, I'm gonna give this to him. Oh, right. I need to upgrade Greg and Connie.
Connie Maheshwaran, at your service.
Did the music cut out for you guys too?
Yeah,
Oh, it'll fix itself.
Mr. Universe, at your service. Hey,
Yeah,
not
that's a
too
glitch in the
shabby.
game. Okay, yeah, there's the music. That happens sometimes. Anyway, head up to the lighthouse. And Lion! Sadly, you can't take Lion with you. He's sleepy. And now you can pick which of the crystal gems you want to come with you first. But since, well, I usually go with this one and it usually doesn't let me down. Amethyst! Yeah, this takes place sometime after Earthlings, at least, because Smoky Quartz is in this game and Amethyst has her design from when she reformed shortly before that episode. It was in... she reformed like that in... what episode was it? I know it was the one right before Steven versus Amethyst, but I don't remember what its name was. I think out of the core crystal gems, my favorite of the bunch probably is Amethyst. But, well, there certainly isn't a bad member of the team. Like, this is a battle set. Also, positioning in battle is preset. Like, when you attack an enemy, everyone's going to go to a certain point in the area that, well, is basically prefixed for them. This can make using Greg a little difficult at times. Like, there are some battles where he'll be more useful than others. Which is why I like having Amethyst around. She has a wide-range attack as well. 1, 2. Who said you could step out of line?
Great concentration.
There we go. The only way to interrupt an enemy attack is to KO them before they get it off. Like, once that exclamation point appears over the enemy's head, you can damage them to delay it, But unless you KO them with that attack, they're gonna attack you eventually. So you can't completely avoid damage. Steven reaches level 3, I believe? Yeah, level 3. Also, because we just recruited her, Amethyst starts at level 2 and has upgrade points.
Just getting stronger. No big deal. Hey, it's my page.
We want Spiky Bubble, and I'll give Steven a point in attack just so his shield bash is useful. Because there will be a lot of times where you'll be using Steven's shield dash a lot.
Yeah. Nope.
Pearl and Garnet do know who she is.
Oh, yeah. Let's do this! Oh, yeah.
Anyway, run over here into the clothing store. And we get a beefy sweatband. This item will increase your attack power for a short amount of time. Or rather, it'll increase the attack of whoever you give it to. Uh-oh. I do wonder, what sort of reputation does Beach City have with monsters occasionally showing up? Yeah, you'll be delivering pizzas for the Fryman for the pizzas every now and then. That's a rarity. Someone Steven doesn't know a lot about. But anyway, Suitcase Sam isn't very far. He's just over this away. Oh, right. Amethyst's field ability is, of course, her whip, which can be used to grab faraway items. Almost. This is Suitcase Sam, by the way. I think he appeared in Onion Gang or something? I don't know, I didn't really watch the episodes that involved Onion. And, well, he's apparently only in those episodes, so, yeah. Oh, and if we head into the Big Donut real quick. This place also has other items to buy. For example, you can get a Together breakfast, a bunch of star fruits, Feel Good tea, which isn't useful yet, but will be later. Star Shake. You can talk to Sadie. I love it whenever Steven gets that starry-eyed look. That's basically another side quest. Lion Liquors. You can't actually use these yourself. It's a quest item for later in the game when you need to earn Lion's cooperation. But that doesn't pop up till endgame, so we're gonna ignore it for now. Actually, for the longest time, I didn't even know you could go into the Big Donut. Sure, we can go give this to Vidalia. We're in the same area. Oh, there's actually an achievement for jumping on top of the Big Donut and then jumping through the donut on the roof. I got it a few nights ago, but I'll show you how to get it later. Sometimes using Steven's roll to bump into trees will shake items loose, but not all the time. Now we can get the XP badge from Ronaldo. Get the XP badge, and let's equip it. Let's put it on Steven. Also, a character's jumping animations are different depending on if you're moving or standing still. I like that little touch. PD! Save the Fry Shack!
How about this tasty number?
Greg's jams reduce in power the farther away he is from an enemy. But it's still good to have that source of consistent damage there. Especially since it means you're still doing damage when the star meter needs to fill.
That's my son!
With all the compliments and stuff, this game will just make you feel good all over. Let's take this guy out. Oh, that's another thing that can happen. Sometimes when you KO an enemy, it'll drop star points, enabling you to attack faster. It's kinda rare, but as you increase your luck stat, they'll do it more often. And Connie gets a level. And we get Fry Bits. These allow a character to regenerate health over a short amount of time.
With rigorous study and training, I can do this.
We're going to give Connie the Deep Cut, which increases the range of her sword attack, basically meaning it's easier for her to gain X to hit an enemy with the second swing.
No, I didn't
Like someone
expect
off
this.
to the side of her main target. Let's go talk to Sour Cream real quick. When an exclamation point appears above somebody's head, it means they have a side quest for you. Of course, sometimes they don't appear, so make sure to talk to everybody every now and then. We need to get 10 of these glow sticks, and he just gave us the first one. Let's talk to Mr. Smiley. And he'll give you a Boltron token.
I know I put it in here somewhere.
You can use these in front of the Boltron machine to get a fortune. These don't actually do anything, but they're fun. And if you want to hear more of them, Mr. Smiley sells these for 25 light bits. Hey there, Jamie. I like Jamie. I think his best episode is, which one's the one where he puts on the play about William Dewey? Historical... I know it starts with the word historical, but... well, I can't look it up. Okay, right there, that counted as the first strike since I hit him before the attack hit Connie. So when it comes to deciding who gets the preemptive strike, it all depends on, well, who actually struck first. And like right there, that Connie... yeah, historical friction, that was it. That was the one where he put on the play about Mayor Dewey's ancestor.
Skill.
But like right here, the fact that Connie was able to hit the red one, that's the deep cut ability I earned with her last level up in action. She wouldn't normally be able to hit that guy with her basic attack.
Steven, check this out!
Hey!
Let's try that again. Charge! Steven in this game is well, unfortunately he never gains a shield toss move as far as I know. But with all the shield charging he does in this game, you might as well call Steven Captain America. Anyway, Greg gets Heal Jam, and that allows him, like I said earlier, to heal any ally within a certain radius. Very useful. Especially since you only need to activate it once in order to get a source of continuous healing. Now, Greg's jams don't last forever. Even if he doesn't get hit, he'll eventually stop. I can't help you because... and answering that way gives us a huge light pit. Into the forest.
We can't stop now.
Oh yeah, when that little symbol that looks kind of like the Game Boy with a star in it pops up at the top right of the screen, that's the game auto-saving. You can also manually save by pausing and selecting Save and Quit. But for the most part, this game just auto-saves after battles or level-ups.
Steven, look at this place.
Oh yeah, everyone has a has quotes for when they enter or exit an area. Get a star fruit there. Connie's sword can cut grass, so she's Link. And warp pads. You can use these to change out your party or, well, warp between different areas.
Whoa!
This one's just a tribute.
Gem powers, activate!
Those axes on top of these guys' heads aren't exactly for show. They deal a lot more damage than the other enemies we've seen so far, and they have both a physical and a long-range attack.
Nice one, G-Man!
But yeah, Greg's Healing Jam is also a great way to get him to raise his relationships really fast. Amethyst's range isn't wide enough to hit both of them. So we'll have Connie attack this one. And have Steven deal a little extra. Boom! Sometimes it's better to have Steven do his charge, and other times it's better to just wait.
Now we're bubble buddies.
Ready to rock!
Dun, dun, dun. Also, the extra stuff you gain from a perfect block depends on how powerful the attack is. I think.
Captain skill.
All right, I can take a hint.
Oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention. The less enemies there are in a group, the more frequently they'll attack. It's a way of balancing out that you usually outnumber most enemy groups. Like when they gain that little tick mark at the top of their heads, that means they're going to attack more often. Ooh, Light Dew. Let's see, over here.
Secrets! Always wanted one of these.
The Sluggish Regen Badge. This one's very useful. I'm gonna give it to Connie for right now. Basically, it causes the character to regenerate
Maybe losing my hair, but
1
the magic's
HP
still
every few seconds.
there. You got it.
Bawakunga!
I want to get Amethyst the Go Big ability. Increase her defense a little bit. Like, when you just start out, you can put a few bits into attack and defense, mostly. But you are going to eventually want to start specializing characters sometimes. We need to find the key.
Yeah.
Not to mention, since Steven plays video games, he'd be aware of their tropes. And he does break the fourth wall every now and then in this game. Like mentioning upgrades and stuff. Like sometimes when you give him upgrade points, he says leveling up is just the best. Over here, Onion! He's our shopkeep. Super Star Fruit. This adds 6 star points. Sure, I'll take it. And then his wares change with every time you find him. But it is good to try and find him a lot. Because you never know when you may need some of his items, and he occasionally carries badges.
I feel a jam session coming on.
There we go. Also, purple enemies don't let down their shield unless they're moving or attacking.
Alright, I can take a hint.
That didn't count. Oh, and Greg can't heal himself with Heal Jam. But that's what Steven is for.
If you think I can do this, that's all I need.
Cheeseburger backpack!
As far as licensed games go, this game is pretty great. But as a game overall, I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. Pretty good. But certainly not going to be making a giant splash. As far as licensed games go, I'd give it a 9. Not as great as something like SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, but it's still pretty great. Anyway, I want to give Steven a teamwork point so that his healing does more. And then give him one more in defense, because, well, he's the protector.
At your service. Oh, my training paid off.
This game doesn't have any musical sequences and doesn't use any of the show's music. Which in my opinion is a good thing, because it means I don't have to worry
Do
about
your
copyright.
thing, Big.
But like, we don't even get like the instrumentals to Stronger Than You or anything like that. So if you're coming here looking for Steven Universe music, well, you're gonna have to play it yourself.
This one's just a tribute.
Oh, you see that little half log lying on the ground a little bit ahead of Steven? Enemies can sometimes wander over, pick that up, and use it as a shield. You can't destroy it yourself, just keep an eye out for them so you know if an enemy might be able to use it. Like there, that guy moving right now is going for the shield. Gonna have Connie attack him, so hopefully... nope, he got it. I think Greg will KO him with his next pulse. Uh-oh. When you see a timer like that appear above an enemy's head, that means they're trying to do something big. If you attack them, you'll knock them out of it. I'm thinking we'll go to the boss of the forest area, and then we'll finish up. Anyway, these rocks right here. You definitely want to get these, because these give out chroma of the same color as the stone itself. You need these in order to enhance your weapons. We'll get into weapon enhancement later.
Cheeseburger backpack!
You don't have to give them out one at a time, but I've done that since I first played, and well, it just feels right. Ooh, this right here is the attack badge. Does exactly what it says on the tin. Only Steven can squeeze through there. Pow! Yeah, if you knock enemies off cliffs, they die instantly. If they knock you off of a cliff, because that can happen, you only take a little bit of... The character who got knocked off takes a little bit of damage and comes right back. But anyway, this is a Steven-only battle. Basically, it's trying to teach us, hey, take advantage of your environment. Basically, just spam Steven's shield and knock these guys off the cliff. Because otherwise... Well, let's put it this way. If they don't go off the cliff, I don't think Steven can actually KO them on his own, because these guys do about 10 or so damage with their normal attacks, depending on how much defense he has. Anyway, open the chest, and we get the first weapon schematic. You can take these to Bismuth's
I've
Forge.
got just the thing.
Oh yeah, spoilers, we go to Bismuth's Forge. As if there was any other place to upgrade weapons. Once you have the right amount of chroma, then you can use it to upgrade weapons, which causes your attacks to take on special properties, and also, I think, raises your attack. Literally!
How about maybe this?
Yeah, until Steven gets the joke, you can't actually select the cheeseburger backpack. Anyway, grab the light bits and the green key. Nah, we're gonna need Pearl and Garnet. And up there, mini light Stevens. Mini Light Stevens are basically free experience, so let me see here. Okay, I want this one to be amethysts. Because it only gives the experience to the one who touches it. Aw, that wasn't enough?
Hey, thanks for having me. Steven, check out your old man.
Don't mind if I do.
I know I put it in here somewhere. Do your thing!
Let's blow this popsicle stand.
Especially since we 100%ed that area. That little percentage will pop up at the beginning and end of any area, and I think it also appears if you stand still long enough. Aha! These puzzles with the arrows in the wall can only be solved by Greg.
Whoa!
Basically just match the arrows on the wall with the D-pad. So, right, left, up, down, right. And these usually cause treasure chests to appear.
Open sesame?
Come on, game, the key's right there. Oh, hey!
Oh my goodness.
Pearl!
Yay!
Eh.
That's not an answer, Pearl.
Steven.
Okay.
Why, yeah.
Hop onto the warp pad. Sorry, Greg. Time to sit this out for a little bit. Anyway, Pearl. Her field ability is to throw her spear, giving her a way of giving a preemptive strike at long range. And she also gets long-range attacks for dealing with flying enemies and just ones that might be out of reach. Also, you may notice a size difference between those two green guys. The big ones usually have more HP and more attack power. So we're going to want to push him off the cliff first. Goodbye! Next, that buzzsaw guy. You hit him from the back and you'll bump into that buzzsaw and take damage. I'm gonna wait for the star meter to fill up even though I got an extra point. And I might as well show off one of Pearl's attacks. She either has Quick Strike, which is basically her equivalent to Connie's Sword Swing, or she has Spear
Wait
Throw.
for it.
Line yourself up with the stick and then fling the spear at enemies. It can hit multiple in one throw, of course. And it's actually one of Pearl's more useful attacks. That earns Amethyst the level up that the Light Stevens should have given her. Oh, right. Pearl starts at level 4.
And Pearl.
And that means she has 9 points to put in. We're gonna give her Surprise Strike, little more defense, and I'll give her a Teamwork.
Wonderful.
Luck is honestly the least important stat, so if you ignore it, don't feel too bad about it. It is good to occasionally dump a point in there, though. Sometimes a lucky hit can save you. Of course, I switched Greg out right before a Greg puzzle. And you can only switch characters on warp pads, so... Oh, right, over here. That Together Breakfast is stuck in the tree nook, but it's too far for anyone to jump. So have Amethyst grab it. You'll usually want to be controlling Steven, if only because his double jump can surpass some obstacles. Wait, I don't want to warp, I want to swap characters. Also, characters who are not in the party do receive some experience when you get into a fight. So if you leave a character out of the party, they won't be too far behind. But they do gain less than anyone who's actively in the party. So be wary about that. Which one? Is he a party member, or...? Okay, Leaf Shield. This increases defense against green or yellow enemy attacks. Basically, it... Mishima. Oh, he must not be a party member. Or at least not one I've met yet. Wait, the music disappeared again?
Awakanga!
Hmm.
Whoop, whoop.
Strange. The music for this area cut out. Luckily, I think I know how to fix that.
Warp, 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 warpy, warp, warp.
Also, the loading screen image is different based on if you're warping or running to a different area. So that's a nice little touch. Oh, right, him.
It's a good day for a mission.
Yeah, to show how much stronger they are than the humans normally, the crystal gems all have levels over 9,000.
Well, I'd say that was fairly successful.
That joke was in Attack the Light as well. Like, Garnet, Amethyst, Pearl, their levels are all like 9,001, 2, 3, or 4. And so on. I don't remember if Peridot is the same way. But I wouldn't be too surprised if she was. I just haven't used Peridot as much as the others. Okay, now that we've got the music back... Respawning enemies! This time... You know what, we got a little bit. Stefani! Fusions don't learn new abilities, but the abilities they come with are usually pretty powerful. In Stefani's case, she can give her remaining allies bubbles simultaneously, or she can use Sword Flurry to deal a lot of damage really fast. Let me demonstrate. Though it does take a full 5 star points, so... Fusions have a little risk-reward thing. Basically, when you use that attack, you just mash the button as fast as you can. Oh yeah, and Stefani also counterattacks. Fusions also have a lot of HP. Unfortunately, none of the fusions in this game actually talk. I guess they couldn't get any of their voice actors. Like, Stevani never says a word, Smoky Quartz never says anything. Defend Pearl! Also, fusions cannot give kudos, so... That's another thing that makes them sometimes impractical. Like, fusions are usually best saved for boss fights. I only fused in this fight because we'd seen it before, and I wanted to spice it up a little bit. And of course, at the end of battle, they defuse, and you have to build up the relationship meter again before you can fuse again.
Guys, check this out. Leveling up is just the best.
Yeah, like, see? I should also mention that character-specific puzzles like Greg's music walls or something to get with Amethyst's whip is almost never required to proceed, so that you're not shoehorned into having a certain character for a certain area. Uh-oh. Okay, you see that little yellow flying dealie? This guy? These guys are annoying. Like, you can hit them with anybody when they're on the ground like that, but occasionally they'll go high up into the air, and if you can't hit them with something, then they'll turn themselves into a living bomb, go into the middle of your team, and after a little bit of time they explode, and it deals a lot of damage. And their normal attack deals a lot of damage too, but only for one character. The yellow guys with the saw blades on their butts can... Well, they can charge through multiple members of your party at once.
Love you, Steven.
So, yeah, you might want to take them out quickly.
We're strong in the real way, Pearl. How about... Hey!
Missed it. There we go.
Oh, I didn't expect this.
And Connie earns her study ability. This is awesome. Only costs 1 star point, and it causes Connie's next attack to become much stronger, and she can stack it. Sure, it takes her a little bit of time to actually get the buff, and it can be interrupted, but Steven's bubbles can mitigate that, and Connie can eventually learn an ability that actually no, it's not an ability, it's a badge, that prevents her from being interrupted. And then you can buff study in order to give Connie a defense boost as well, and to spread to nearby teammates. by leveling up Connie's teamwork stat. Falling into pits causes you to take a small bit of damage and then reappear on the nearest piece of solid ground.
Connie Maheshwaran, at your service.
I want to give Connie some more defense so that she can use Protect better.
I didn't expect this.
But that right there, Sturdy Study. You're gonna want that one. And Study Group. This is what causes Study's buffs to extend to nearby allies. It's near the end of Connie's teamwork meter, but that's because it's a really good ability. Sworn Protector's not bad either, if you use Protect a lot. Sometimes Steven will have these little moments of wanting to encourage somebody, and it'll give them a bit of experience. Let's give it to Pearl.
Why, yes.
Oh, I didn't show off Pearl's jump animations. This is her standing jump, spin, and her regular jump. Ballerina leap.
Great job today, Steven.
And that was the end of that area. Like I said, don't get
Alright,
too worried about the
here we
loading
go.
screen image freezing up. It's just something that happens.
A little light reading.
Who loves bubbles? Let's get beefy!
There we go. Nice one, Connie.
Fascinating.
Oops, I didn't mean to attack that one. Ah, well.
David! I'm it!
I want to have Smoky Quartz for the boss battle in this area.
Ow!
Man, these guys hate Steven. And that's what Study can do.
Wait for it.
Ah, missed! And yeah, if you missed, you just wasted an attack.
Guys, how about this?
Nice work, universe.
Alright, Connie, get started.
Fascinating.
Don't ask me why that guy bothers going around that stump. They've been attacking Steven a lot, so I'm going to have Connie protect him.
Ooh, I know. Do your thing,
Have Steven use a cookie cat. Have Steven heal Amethyst.
Way to go!
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Wait for it.
There.
Aw, I missed again! Well, now we get to see this guy's big attack. Multi-axe toss. Too bad for him, Connie's protection allows her to reflect projectiles as well. One for Amethyst. One for Pearl.
I believe in you.
And Connie goes back to her spot.
Ow.
Aw, come on, I hit the button. That little freeze you saw there, I saw it too. But yeah, the axe toss of these guys can stun. Oh, and if Steven is KO'd or stunned, then you can't use items, because he's the one with the cheeseburger backpack. So you'll want to be extra careful about that.
What up?
Just getting stronger.
I'm
No big
always
deal.
ready for the fight. Wonderful.
This ability right here is a good reason why you should keep Pearl in your party a lot if you pick it up. Because any little bit of increase to the star meter speed is very helpful. Oh, right, I don't have the key. Which means we need to find it. Jump up here. Roll through the log. And that sounds like bad guy. Aha! Go over here and check this to get the key to that door. I could have sworn Connie just quoted Sonic the Hedgehog. Because I know he says that in the comics and some of the cartoons. She said, "Let's do it to it," by the way, if I skipped that, if I went through that text box too fast. Okay, we got a Rose's Tear. This allows you to revive a teammate with some of their health. Now, if a teammate is KO'd, they actually will get back up after a little while, but it takes a lot of time, and as such, it's really not practical to wait for them to get back up. Plus, if they get back up on their own, they'll only have 1 HP. Meaning another hit will put them right back down. You need to use Rose's Tears or Bottles of Rose's Tears, which are the upgraded versions. Like, basically, the Rose's Tear is a revive, and the bottle of it is a max revive. Now, over there, do you see that group of enemies? We'll come back to them later. Right now, we want to go around, because that's the way we'll find the key to that door. Looks like a job for Pearl. Missed him. Come on. No. I think it's from the, like the healing fountain. You know what, I'll just get hit by this guy. Yeah, I think that's how you're supposed to initiate these battles, because it started me with full star points.
By Jove. Fascinating.
Oh yeah, Connie also cannot defend herself if she's attacked while studying. Which makes sense. I mean, she's got her nose in a book, and she might not notice. But it's also just another way to balance out the study ability.
Hey!
I pressed the button there, but the game didn't really count it. Though to be fair, that guy was right up in my... like, right up on me. Well, looks like that actually... No super attack for you! Like, we never get an explanation for why Rose's tears are lying around, but we also don't get a reason why food heals Pearl, who doesn't eat.
I know I put it in here somewhere. One thingy coming right up.
What the... what hit me? I guess one of them must have fired.
Loves bubbles.
Connie,
Look,
get to studying.
It's in a book.
Ah, that reference. Oh no, you don't! Yeah, when those guys attack, you have to mash the button in order to make them stop. Let's see, Amethyst. Connie, finish that guy off. I don't want him going boom. Star meter fill. Okay, Connie, I want you to go and protect Amethyst. Darn, I didn't block in time.
Ow! Ooh, I know. This'll do the trick.
I'm getting bad at reflecting stuff.
Hey! Item, I choose you!
Yes, Steven did just say that.
I feel so upgraded.
Ooh. Ukulele. This allows Steven to buff an ally's attack. But it's under the same thing as Greg's jams. If he gets hurt, or he decides to do something else, then the buff stops.
Not every day you get to
Ooh, the freebie badge. This gives you a chance of being able to use an ability for free every now and then.
Yay, stuff!
Nice.
I'm going to give Connie the freebie badge, and I'm actually going to give the sluggish regen badge to Steven. It helps if your healer has an ability to...
Helps me in battle.
Because I think it's a good idea to give your healer the regen ability. Plus, you also need Steven in order to use items. So anything that helps him stay healthy is very useful.
Burrito!
Aha, I see that up there, but I can't reach it. And I think I know what leads to it, too. See that door over there? Well, let's go check it out real fast. Pearl is right. The key to this door is not in this area. We'll need to find it somewhere else, but first, we have a Greg puzzle, and a warp pad right next to us in order to, open that, in order to make sure we have Greg in our party. So first, we're gonna have Connie break these. And now, we're going to swap Greg for Amethyst real fast. Alright. Now we want to see how these pieces fit together. Right, left, down, down, up, left... Oop, I messed up. Okay, start again. Right, left, down, down, up, right, down... Okay, I mixed up left and right a few times there, but... Do that, and we cause another chest to appear.
Let's just take a look-see.
Pop it open to grab the guitar schematic. Or the first of them. There are 2 schematics for each character. Oh yeah, the camera moves by itself in this game, just to let you know. So if anything happens with it, or we get a strange angle, then that's all in the game. Back here we get Speedy Sneaks, one of the few items that really only has a benefit outside of battle. In this case, speeding up your movement for 30 seconds. Alright.
My joke. A little light reading.
There we go. Boom. Such is the power of reading.
Amethyst, you rule!
Ooh, that right there. That earned Connie a free attack with her sword. Let's make good use of it. Well, we'll certainly have enough to pay Onion next next time we run into him.
Wow, that was perfect.
Ready for action.
Alright.
Adventure is out there.
Okay, we're gonna get Sworn Protector. Give Connie another... Oh, right. That costs all of my upgrade points.
Bawakunga!
Ooh, Amethyst could use some help.
I know. Do your thing.
Grab the key. Hop down and chop somebody.
A little light rain.
Oh yeah, and when you're using Steven's ukulele... Steven's ukulele also adds a ukulele to the sound effects. Or to the music. Pearl, you should be hitting that guy from behind. Uh-oh. We get a big donut.
Bravo, Steven!
Ooh, that hurt.
Cheeseburger backpack!
A little light reading.
Excellent technique.
Okay, it gives me a freebie on Protect. So I'll go to Protect Steven and give him the regen. Connie eventually gets the ability to use her sword to counterattack whenever she wants. Basically, like, whenever she guards, then she does a counterattack. Or at least if she perfect guards. Like, by upgrading her sword, that's what the first upgrade does. Of course, Connie stops protecting him and immediately the enemy targets Steven. But I can't tell if that was coincidence or just... or the enemy being smart.
Bawakunga! Just getting stronger.
One must
No big
always
deal.
be prepared. See, hard work and dedication always pays off.
Fire Salt. When you use this, you can inflict burn on enemies by attacking them or blocking their attacks. These right here are healing pads. Stand on them to restore your party's HP. However, you can only use it once a visit, so be sure to, well, be sure to use them wisely.
On to the next one.
Shouldn't be too much farther from here, I don't think.
Remember, with today's battles, we're focusing on form.
Okay, we want to go in here because there's items inside. And this is actually our first boss arena.
Hesonite.
Can it be? A crystal gem. So, my prism wasn't the only thing that managed to stay intact after the diamond's retaliation. Was it you that activated my prism? No wonder the poor thing's so confused. You don't even know how to properly use it. Let me show you how it's done. That should do the trick.
Alright.
Isn't this nostalgic? Goodbye.
Whoop, I accidentally skipped over some of her dialogue.
Oh man, that monster. It's...
Aw man, I wanted to name it Dave.
Burn his face!
The other options are Insectisaw, the Bladinator, and Dave.
Steven, did you really just name the monster?
Well...
I wanted to select
yeah.
Dave, but I thought it was on
Seemed
X.
like a
It's
big
on
boss
triangle.
monster like this needs a name.
Get ready, team.
Furnace Face. Here's what we're gonna do. We are going to fuse into Smoky Quartz.
Because it's about to get funky.
Smoky can either give everybody a defense and regen buff, or she can use her yo-yo to blow enemies away. What we're going to do is I'm going to use a Star Fruit. Basically, you spin the stick, and that causes Smoky to keep attacking. Now, I actually want to use a Super Star Fruit here because... Now, you see how the enemies are bringing it wood? That basically gives the monster the ability to actually attack. And actually, now that I think about it, I actually want to use Stevani for this. So I'm going to have Smokey unfuse. And immediately have Steven and Connie fuse. Then we're going to put up bubbles around Pearl and Amethyst, and now we wait. Sure, that won't allow Stevani to attack, but it will allow her to get ready. You don't have to KO all the little enemies after you defeat the boss. Once you land the final blow, the others just all die. But yeah, with proper timing, fusions just rip bosses apart. Ouch, lasers. There we go.
Oh man, it looks mad.
Okay,
the end? I can Steven Universe.
show this.
Garnet! To the rescue! Kaboom!
So cool.
And only Steven actually levels up.
Hello.
So the others are
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Oh noes.
Nice Mario reference there, Steven. But yeah, everybody gets their health refilled.
Hey, it's my page.
Okay, Stun Dash. That's one of Steven's more useful abilities. Basically, it allows him to stun enemies if they're not the main target of his shield dash. Like, if you charge at one enemy and you bump another enemy out of your way, then you'll cause the enemy you bumped out of the way to become stunned. And over here, we have 3 treasure chests to open.
Hooray for stuff.
The Harmony Badge,
Burrito, burrito.
and the Sword Schematic 1. Slip back here. And I think there's... Yep, there's a level up charm. This is basically a rare candy. We're gonna save it for now. And our next stop is Bismuth's
Ready when
Forge.
you guys are.
We're gonna check this area out and then we're gonna call it. Because we won't be spending too much time here.
Can you believe we're here?
I'm gonna put Garnet in Amethyst's place for now. Yeah, I can understand why you'd have some bad memories of this place. Bismuth is one of the best episodes, but man. It's also like that because it hits really hard. Now here we do need Garnet to progress. I hit that rock facing the wrong way, and it still broke. Also, Garnet's jump animations. This is while moving, and that is while standing. Now, before we head down into the forge itself, we actually want to go this way. Down here. We have a rock Garnet can bust to reveal a treasure chest.
Behold, treasure.
Which has a lot of light bits and another level up charm. A new type of chroma. Violet. A rock Garnet can break, and one she can't. Now we head down into the forge. Over here, we can press X here to reveal some chroma.
Oh yeah.
And by finding that blue, we're able to use the first shield schematic. The shiny Rose's shield. Now, whenever Steven does a perfect block, he gets a short regeneration effect. Sure, but 1 second. First, we need to use the dull pizza cutter. And now we can go give that back to Jenny in Beach City to complete that side quest. But we'll have to do that next time. Alright, we got a lot done today. Both in Kingdom Hearts and in this game. But I think it's time to sign off. Thankfully, I don't have to grind in between sessions in this game, so I should be able to do this again next week. Or, heck, I said I was going to do it tomorrow, and I will. Around the same time. Alright. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow then for more Save the Light. And then however many other times it takes to complete this game. See y'all then.